Good morning and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this morning. It is Wednesday, the 8th of July. Celtic are on the verge of making their first real signing of the season. I know that we signed Oxlade-Chamberlain, and I know that he's a fantastic addition to the squad, but fans want money spent. It's Wednesday, 8th of July, and fans want money spent, and they want their good hard-earned cash spent. I'm going to get on to transfers and things in a minute because Celtic have done it again. Yes, we all know what. Celtic have dropped another range of merchandise this morning. When you go into the Celtic website, they've dropped more new merch. €75 for this top. I will run through the merch this morning. I'm sure you'll tell me in the comments what you think about it this morning. It's yeah, Celtic being Celtic. Celtic are getting fleeced again. And there's a fleeced hoodie. There is a fleeced hoodie at €81 if you're in Europe or Ireland. Don't know what it'll be in pounds. But yeah, there you go. Even more merchandise. 15 new items added to the Celtic website. You shouldn't laugh because it's ridiculous. Celtic are now becoming a fashion brand with Adidas rather than a football club. Getting ready for the winter months. €225 for that. I wouldn't be buying it because I'd wear it once in a year. Just saying. So there's absolutely no use. And is the other penny? Here is the question this morning: is the Not Another Penny campaign still a thing? Since well, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. But then again, I'd only be wearing it when I come home. I wouldn't be wearing that at all. Actually, that's just playing right into the yeah. Nah, I'm too old for that shit. Maybe get that one, the hoodie. Other than that, I'm not a tank top guy. I'm saying nothing. James Boy says yes, it's still a thing. Is it? Is it? 95% of fans sign up for season ticket renewals. Interesting. Sold our soul. Yes, they sold our soul. It's just all about merch, isn't it? It's that looks like a Christmas top. It's that time of year. Celtic throwing a Christmas looking jumper. Don't know. It's But don't fret because Celtic will bring out a Christmas jumper. Just to make sure that you get your Christmas edition. Polo shirts. Just the winter collection, isn't it? It's still summer. It's only July, and you're bringing in you're Celtic have turned into a Spanish superstore, Spanish clothing brand, because that's what they do in Spain. They bring their winter clothes in about August. Do you know when it's still friggin' roasting hot? Even July they bring in their winter clothing brand. Well, they say winter. It's not really winter clothing, is it? It's got, like people in Scotland would wear. That one, none of them are really shouting like "come and buy me." Don't know. There is quite a lot of new merchandise. There's the women's one in the pink. But anyway, that is the Celtic website this morning. More new merchandise. More new. It's a nice winter dog walking coat, says Mikey Boy. I've just been for a swim in the sea with the dog. It was fantastic. What a way to wake up in the morning, just go for a swim in the Mediterranean first thing in the morning in clear waters. I filmed the dog under the water with the dog. Anyway, we diverse. Alfie Devine, remember him? There was a lot of chat saying that Alfie Devine was going to be coming to Celtic. Alfie Devine has taken to social media, and after signing for Preston North End, the PNE, Preston North End. He has taken. There was a lot of speculation over the summer that Celtic would be trying to sign Alfie Devine. Alfie Devine has come out and said on his Instagram, delighted to be back here permanently. Can't wait to get started again. See you the fans. Don't believe everything you read. Winky face. That says to me that Celtic weren't even in touch. We know that Martin O'Neill did go down and have a look at Alfie Devine, but he obviously didn't rate the young lad. End of. That's it. Don't believe everything you read. Speculation is just speculation. And there was a lot of sites yesterday saying that Celtic have lost out. Celtic have lost out on Alfie Devine. No, they didn't, because they weren't even interested. And that comes from the player himself. That is not speculation. Don't believe everything you read, winky face, at PNE official. So, yeah, that's just another one that was pure speculation, but it is what it is. Now, there's a bit of disappointment news. We are getting to the good news that obviously there is a player that Celtic are about to sign. He is in Scotland. He is going through his medical. There was one of the coaching, somebody for the backroom staff has went back to Glasgow to meet, or stayed in Glasgow to meet. What's on my this morning? Has went back to meet Duran, and then fly out to Portugal with him to meet up with the rest of the team. Celtic do fly out to Portugal today, but Celtic have a bigger issue on the wing. We're about to lose Daisen Maeda. When it comes to some of the games during the season, Celtic are going to be without Yang. People were asking where was Yang yesterday. He was at the World Cup, so he's still on holiday, having played in the World Cup. But Yang has been picked for the Asia Games, which will take place in Japan. The tournament will kick off in the mid-September and run through to October the 4th, which means that Yang will definitely miss the Derby game on Sunday, September the 20th, and Motherwell. So he's going to miss 2 games for Celtic. It's never ideal missing a player for a number of weeks, but you would hope that we would have the squad. And let's face it, you would hope that Celtic would bring in a better winger than Yang. Whilst he's a good player, he's not the answer, is he? He's not really the answer, and we're kind of hoping that Celtic do bring in a couple of wingers. Now, Martin O'Neill, speaking after the game last night, I did watch the first half, and then I went away with something to eat with the missus. Didn't seem to miss much in the second half because they changed the whole team. I was sitting in the restaurant going, I'm going to check the squad, see what Martin's done at half time, and it was a complete change of the team in the second half, and we scored a late penalty. Yes, late penalty. Martin O'Neill wasn't bothered about the score. He said that the first 45 minutes were important. There's one thing that I noticed. He never said that we should have won. It's not about winning in this first game of pre-season. He did go on to speak about the young players, saying there was a lot of young players in the squad. The young players were nervous. Some of them looked nervous. He says that, but he said it's easy for me to say they shouldn't be. They've earned the right. They're training with the first team. I thought that they have the ability to and have the right to be there, so Martin O'Neill says that they deserve to be there. He says I'm giving the youngsters the opportunities, it's now up to them. That's what you want from a manager. For too long, for 4 years, 4 years, 4 wasted years, as far as I'm concerned, under Ange Postecoglou and Brendan Rodgers. We have not given youth one chance whatsoever, and we've let a lot of youth players have moved on because they didn't believe the process. I hope, and I know that I'm talking away in advance. That you don't want to wish your life away, but I hope that Celtic bring in a manager after Martin O'Neill that sees the benefit of bringing youth into the squad during the summer, getting the young boys training, and giving them the opportunity to prove themselves that they should be for one, that they should be at Celtic, and two, that they deserve to just be in the squad. And I'm not saying that these young guys should be coming in and saying, I'm boss, I want a first team place or I'm off. No, they shouldn't. But you have to have a manager that understands that young players have ambition. And in the Instagram era where, a young player can bugger off down to England and get 20 grand a week for doing absolutely nothing and prove themselves of doing absolutely nothing within the game. I think it's fantastic that we have a manager that's willing to give the youngsters an opportunity. And it's now up to them, said them. And he spoke about Callum Osmond and spoke about some of the other players that have came through from the B team. He praised Shelburne. He says they're fit, they're strong. They're already, I think they're 20 games into this season. A lot of people say that Scotland should play summer football, make it a lot easier for when we get to the Champions League game. Shelburne are going to be playing in Europe. And he says people underestimate these games. They've played halfway through the season. It's much harder to play someone who's look, last year we played Newcastle when we thumped them. And Newcastle were like 5 days back into their pre-season. The players were still in summer mode. I can't get arsed with this. Just can't be arsed with it. No, fucking hate pre-season. Shite pre-season. I hate it. And fucking Celtic as well. With fucking Jesus. But anyway, we hummed them. Portugal is where the real work starts, says Martin O'Neill. He says basically how we train, double sessions, fitness, patterns of play, breaking down teams, one-on-one confidence. This tells me Ireland was just about the fitness. It was just about getting ready to go to Portugal. Martin O'Neill spoke about the fact that it was a complete rush from January all the way to the end of the season. It was 100-mile-an-hour stuff, and you were just focused on getting the team over the line and winning the double. There was no time for training sessions. There was no time for tactical sessions with the team. It was rest, recover, go again, rest, recover, go again, rest, recover, go again. And that's pre-season will allow Martin O'Neill to bring in Martin O'Neill style football. And he's looking forward to having the pre-season. He said that obviously January was a mad rush, never had any time to coach. That's worth discussing. He said last season was about surviving. This season is about improving every single player. He mentions things like the breaking down teams quicker. He wants more confidence in the players. He wants players to be taking people on. I don't think that Mikael Ange Balak-Wisha helped himself last night. I thought that he should have maybe been going down the wing a bit more. He was all over the park. I know that he's meant to be a winger, but I don't know if he was given the freedom to roam last night or if he's just, I don't know, he's not Celtic class, as some people will say. But it tells me that he was frustrated with this team last season. He was frustrated with players, talking about the fact that it was too slow, too predictable, not enough players driving past defenders, not wingers not doing what wingers should be doing. And the fact that we've went back to pre-season and James Forrest, Callum McGregor were the best players on the pitch. Now Callum McGregor will get stick upon stick upon stick over the course of the season, saying that he's done and all the rest of it. But you have to say that Callum McGregor showed his class last night. Too predictable. That was one of the comments that I picked up from Martin O'Neill. And hopefully that it's something that we will see a real Martin O'Neill team next season. Because let's face it, Martin O'Neill's team back in there 25 years ago when he was here, you know, it was a case to get the ball and just go forward. Boom. So hopefully we'll see the last of the passing side to side stuff at Celtic. He spoke about the hydration breaks, Martin. Said that he didn't like them. He said that coaches shouldn't be able to coach during it. He says the hydration break should only be 90 seconds. We all know that it was 3 minutes during the World Cup for advert breaks in America. But he hopes that they don't come into the game over here. And we know they had one last night because it was hot in Ireland. It was weird. That I'm reaching out to all the Irish on the channel this morning, just saying I hope you're okay, because I know that you're not used to this kind of weather. And I'm sincerely praying for it. I might have a Hail Mary for you today. Just pray for the Irish, because they're not used to this weather. They're not, it's a funny old thing. And don't be drinking too much Guinness this afternoon just because you've sacked work. Anyway, Martin during the interview on Celtic TV, or whatever they're calling it these days, saying that there's a young lad shouting at me to get a jumper, and I don't have a jumper for him. And that was it. So anyway, last night was all about fitness. It was all about young players. It was all about going forward to the Portuguese training camp, where Martin O'Neill wants to improve the attacking play. He wants to improve the pace of the team, and he wants to make sure that we are all set up for the season ahead. Callum Osmond. I know it was only the first pre-season game, but his touch was, you could tell it was the first pre-season game. Let's just hope that he improves as a player. And that's really it from Martin O'Neill last night. Ways of breaking down teams more quickly, getting people into one-on-one situations, having the confidence to take on players, something that a lot of Celtic players were lacking last year. He did talk about the fact that there is a player coming into Celtic. He says that there are other negotiations going on, and he did confirm before the game that there had been players who had offers for them. Was one of them Rio Hatate? Because Rio Hatate was nowhere to be seen last night. I'll just do a quick update. So yeah, we'll wait on Celtic to. It'll more than likely be tomorrow, or it might be tonight, that Celtic announced the Camilo Duran deal, and then he'll fly out to Portugal later this evening. Right, let's jump into some of the comments this morning, see how you're all feeling about the game last night. There's loads of comments to go through. Let's go back to the beginning, as they say. This is why to come out and talk to the fans in Ireland. Can't wait to the end of season sale. Looks like a jammy top. Talking about the tops. Maybe the Adidas requires to sell to make a certain amount to maintain the sponsorship, and they're hassling us. If that's the case, snip it. Go back to Umbro. No thanks. Umbro stuff was nothing. No, I like Adidas stuff. 81 euros is the equivalent of 6 foot 9 inches in real money. There is no real money, and it's definitely not the pound. The euro rules. Just ask the Ireland and the rest of the mainland. You can keep your silly wee pound that only people on a wee island use. A lot of people are liking the jacket. Nice dog walking jacket. We've sold our soul. Dermot at the guest last night. Hopefully his eyes were open to see how bad we need quality in the squad. Was Dermot Desmond at the game last night? I'm not too sure. You do not have to buy this garbage, says one comment. Won't buy a thing off them until. Can I ask the question? I know I don't want to be. Can I ask the question for the people that are saying that they're not buying a thing? Have you renewed your season tickets? That's all I'm asking. So for the people that are saying that they're not buying a thing Did you renew your season ticket? Just an honest question. That's all. Top of the morning, Baz and the Celtic family around the world. Hail, hail. The minute Sean say sale is and the prices are a scandal. Yes, they are, Peter. And I think that in this day and age, I mean, I love I love Adidas. It's, you know, I tend not to wear any other brands. Adidas, if you want to sponsor the channel. um, but it is ridiculous because if you've got a family and you've got, I mean, I used to take my two daughters to the games. They grew up going to the games, and when you look at the prices of the kit for kids, I don't know, it's pretty ridiculous and expensive. And Celtic don't give a shit. Let's be honest. Celtic don't care if you've got 3 kids and you've got them the 50 quid season tickets. Celtic would say, listen, we've given you your kids a season ticket for 50 quid. We could sell those to adult seats and take in 700 quid each. Just be thankful that we give you your kid ticket for 50 quid. Don't know, and it is fantastic. Don't know, it was one of the reasons I took the kids to the football week in, week out growing up, because it was 50 quid season ticket. I'm not going to lie. Don't know, I think when I went up to 100 quid, it was like, right, it is what it is. It is a fantastic thing, but the price of the merchandise is just too much for some families. Don't know, and I totally get that. It comes with extra large pocket for flares and rockets. Yes, it does that one, doesn't it? You're smiling like IKEA in the Persian cat. You're laughing. Well, I'm laughing because it's ridiculous that Celtic just keep on fleecing us. Yeah. Best quote yesterday: Barcelona are now interested in signing Yamada. Why is the Celtic board came and talked to the fans in Ireland? Because Celtic are in Ireland. There was an AGM for an association. I'm sure if Celtic were playing in Aberdeen during pre-season, they would talk to fans there. I don't know. Ask them. Ask them. Come to Scotland and tell us it's summer. I've not got. I might be back in Scotland in a couple of weeks. It better be bloody warm. Last time I went home in August, it was, well, it was warm for you lot, but I'm walking around in 30-degree heat, no breaking a sweat, and it's like, oh, this is nice. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I get a lot of hate for not being in Scotland. It's amazing the amount of fans that fucking hate this channel because I'm not in Scotland anymore. It's what it is, isn't it? I'm not even going to say a word. Zara CSC. I don't. Do they still get Zara in the UK? Because I know they get them over here, mate. But I'm not too sure. Right, I'm going to jump through. I'm going to jump straight to the end of the comments. What's Irishman Report saying? Was his agent putting Celtic's name so Preston would react? Same old, same old. Was it his agent? Was it his agent? I think that I don't think it was his agent. I think that certain factions of bloggers and stuff tend to put 2 and 2 together. And because Martin O'Neill went down and watched the Preston North End game last season, don't know. It's like, well, we're in for him. We're in for him. And I for him to come out, for Alfie Devine to come out and say, don't believe everything you read, says to me that, as far as he was concerned, that there was only one team in for him, and that was Preston North End. But there you go. I like the Mexican green top at the World Cup. Yes, it is that. That with a full-size Celtic crest would look amazing. There we go. Talking about more merch. I thought the Asia Games was an under-23 tournament. Yes, Liam, it is. But Yang is one of 3 players that You're allowed 3 over 23s. It's a bit like the situation where Paulo Bernardo was the under 21 captain and he was over 21 for Portugal. So, but there you go. Yeah, they're allowed 3 players. That's one of my favourite competitions, that, the Asian Games. Are you going over to film it, Irishman in Porto? You'll be over to film that one. Shin was consistently diving. Defo got. I didn't watch the second half, so I'm not going to comment about the second half. I thought the first half was interesting, but Rocky and Murray were the 2 positives. Yeah, Murray the first half, he just looks as if he's going to have a good career. I don't want us putting pressure on young Murray, Dane Murray, and he's not going to be a first team starter. You know, he's not going to be, but he's going to be a fantastic squad player. Now, I don't want to happen to Dane Murray if what happened with Stephen Welsh. I want Dane Murray to keep on improving. I think he will improve, and you know, maybe a year, 2 years down the line is when he's looking to become a number one in the defence. I think he's maybe a bit too young. Well, he's not really too young at the moment, but just give him that year. Just keep on playing him a couple of games, you know, building up his confidence, making sure that he's a solid rock in that defence. And then when we sell sick-note Cameron Carter-Vickers, hopefully Cameron Carter-Vickers has at least one full season at Celtic. And you never know. If Cameron Carter-Vickers has a good season at Celtic, a full fit season at Celtic, someone might come in and want to buy him next year. There we go. There's a positive. We need to take the positive out of having a fully fit season for Cameron Carter-Vickers. That's the reason that nobody's came in for Cameron Carter-Vickers. Let's be honest. If if Vickers had no issues over one season, somebody would come in and took him away from us. Sean McArdle, Thomas Hatton, Kyle Urey are good youth players. Yes, they are that. I was expecting a bit more from McArdle last night, but it is with Maeda leaving, the Japanese era is over. Rio and Shin need moved on as well. Positions we need to improve on: goalkeeper, centre back, right back, left back, centre, defence, midfield, right winger, striker, maybe 2, says Glaswegian Ian. Well, Martin O'Neill says that there is stuff going on in the background and there will be players coming in. It'll be interesting to see what will be interesting to see is what players leave. There's offers in for some of our players. Obviously, we know one possibility could be Rio Hatate. Is the other one Arne Engels? Has there been an offer? And when you see the look on Arne Engels' face when he was going to the airport, I think that there's an offer being in and he's went, I shouldn't even be on this plane. I should be at another club training. Don't know. Celtic are holding me to ransom. McCowan in the midfield version of Ralston, apart from being a Celtic fan, he offers no quality. Come on, I said, give the Scottish guys a break. You need Scottish players in the team. Can we? I wanted us to lay off the Scottish players. I don't care if, you know, we need the Scottish contingent. There's go and show me some good Scottish players that would want to come to Celtic and that would improve the team. Somebody will say Lennon Miller. He doesn't want to come to Celtic though. We'll wait and see. Anyway, ball washer is shite. Yeah, I think that. Definitely Yuri is going to be Calmac replacement. Oh. He's a bit more physical than Callum as well, isn't he? Last season, Martin used his word fine a lot of times. Let's see if he uses that again this year. He always said they are fine players. Balak Wishart is a coward, always has been. Yeah. I like big physical players, says Helen. A Honda Civic is a fine motor. That's I don't think that Balak Wishart and Balak Wishart. Balak, Wishat and Shin are any good. They still look crap to me. Maida and Hatati and Maida off, I reckon. Yes, we know that. Callum Osmond has got great vision and likes to run. And once we get a creative midfielder, Osmond's game will definitely improve. Yes, but I still think that we need another good good quality striker. Osmond will be an important player for us this season as long as we don't overuse him. And I think that that's the important thing. I don't think. I mean, Callum Osmond said himself that he didn't expect to play as much football as he did last season. He knew that he was coming in and he was going to train with the first team. He knew that he was stepping up from academy football for him to score the winning goal. And listen, his injury was horrendous last season. He's not going to get an injury like that every season. It was a bad one, and there's one thing: it didn't hold him back, but it frustrated the hell out of him as a player. Other clubs, Adidas, with so many supporters living in Porto, the house match, the gears for cheap. Adidas aren't going to do that. Dermot Desmond was there. Interesting. It was maybe a chance for Dermot Desmond because Dermot Desmond isn't going to go to Portugal, so it's obviously Martin. Martin would be saying to him, "We really need good players in." Johnny Boy says, "I stood by my principles and didn't renew this time, Baz. It's over." So you're one of the 500, Johnny Boy, that did not renew their season tickets. Fair play to you, mate. Fair play to you. Adidas trainers are way overpriced and not as good quality over the last few years. I've got to admit, I go back to get my green 750s. And the last, no, not the last pair I bought, but then I've got trainers for years ago. So, no, but yeah, my 750s, they don't like the heat over here. But yeah, Duran's not even at the World Cup with Colombia. Obviously, they don't rate him, says Paul. He's 24-year-old. I think Colombia's got a lot better players to pick from than the likes of Scotland. Oh, negativity about the boy already. He's not even in the door. He's not even in the door. Prices are way out of control, Baz. Yes, they are that. Talking about the prices of the merch. Not Another Penny campaign wasn't about season ticket or match day tickets. It was about merchandise, and it's not Adidas who set the prices. It's not Adidas that set the prices. Celtic will get the merch at a certain price, and they will have Adidas will say, right, this is the price that we'll sell them to you, and Celtic will have their markup on it, and then JD Sports will have their markup on it, and etc. 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 So, there's worse than a gloating fifer. Tax dodging. Aye, right, mate. I pay more tax in Spain than I would do in the UK. Trust me. I'd be better off in the UK. Spanish like to tax their citizens, and you can't tax dodge in Spain. It's not like the UK. You can tax dodge in the UK. It's quite easily to tax dodge in the UK. You cannot in Spain. Trust me. Have the kittens been sin binned? Yes, they have this morning. They have been this morning. I've closed the doors. So yeah. Yeah, fuck them, Baz. You give us good content. Yeah, that's all it's about. But anyway, we move on. Baz, you can get cheap flights to Glasgow so you can get to games. The Irish lot do it. Yes, I know, Peter. I can fly into Prestwick. Watch this space, as they say. Trump has seized Baz kittens. Mistaking them for the USA squad members who turned out to be pussies. Boom, boom. Bernardo was under 21 when the qualifying started, which he was allowed to finish, even though he was overage. You could rerun your cars from the same game, yeah. Dane Murray, is he not 24? Yeah, he really needs to be picking up the game, doesn't he? He's 22. Anyway, right. Too much has been read into that photograph of Engels. Well, Seemed better at defending corners and taking corners. Young boy was much better than Arne Engels. Arne Engels isn't going to be here. Surprised Celtic haven't tried their luck with the Cape Verde keeper on a free. We've got a history of employing older keepers. Come on, even he's too old. He's 40-year-old. I mean, watched Yuri at Ayr United a few times last year. He looked a lot more ready than Jude Bonner. Interesting. Engels was linked to Sunderland. The Egypt keeper, what's the trick there? Oh, there we go. Right, I'm going to jump through to the end. Adidas do set the prices same more. Adidas are very much control the contract with that one. There we go. Yeah, the prices are fixed across all retailers as fixed. Yes. Anyway. Members Dell when you're back. Yeah, Del Scott, that would be a good one. First of all, let me just get to down the road first. Anyway, right, that is me done and dusted for this morning. Let's do a quick update. There's a bit of an Iniacho update. I'm just going to see what this is. Coming out of Africa. Now, it's just saying that Kelechi Iniacho has now become a free agent. No. The reason that they're saying that Celtic did not give Iniacho another new contract is concerns about his fitness and his hamstring injury. Saying that the Celtic were reluctant to give him a new contract as he may not be able to stay available through a demanding campaign that includes domestic and European football. And it looks like Iniacho could be going to Turkey. Well, there we go. But there was a rumour going around Ireland that he's signed another contract. We'll wait and see. That was from Frank McAvenny, who wasn't in Ireland. But anyway, it's all just speculation. Kelechi was a game changer. Yeah. Anyway, right. Thank you for all the comments this morning. I will be back later on today as Celtic land in Portugal. And what's the heat? It's 30 degrees already at 10 a.m. in the morning for me. Celtic are going to land in Portugal, and the weather's going to be even hotter. Going to Turkey to get his teeth done. Talking about Kelechi Iniacho. I don't think he needs his teeth done, mate. That's a bit of a jeez. I should vet comments before I put them up on the lives. Oh, you're all mad. You're all absolutely. We'll stay on this morning. Should we stay on just for the banter? Father Dougal rumor here. Yeah. Can see if you can get some Celtic gear in Turkey, Irishman. Is Irishman in Porto going to Turkey? There's a comment. Where did that comment go? Do you reckon we will get players? Martin needs to stand up for himself and speak and tell the board. Well, Martin O'Neill said last night that Celtic were still in negotiation with a lot of players, and there was a lot going on in the background. I think Martin. There was a. I'm going to say, going by the interviews that I've watched and some of the stuff I've read, Martin O'Neill seems to be in a bit more confident a position than what Brendan Rodgers was last summer. I may be totally wrong, but it's just the feeling that was coming over from Martin O'Neill. I think he knows that there's stuff going on in the background, and I think he's happy what's going on just now. He looked a lot more relaxed last night. The interview on Celtic TV. He looks as if he's getting a good sleep. Martin, towards the end of the season, was looking a bit cream crackered. I mean, he won't mind us saying that. I don't know. It was just it was mayhem. But when you look at the yeah, it's a still image. We can do the still image. Celtic can't fuck us over for a still image. When you look at Martin O'Neill, don't know. He was looking fresh last night. Don't know. So he's obviously enjoyed his week off in the wherever he went. He probably just sat in his chair and I'm doing nothing for a week. Just switch my phone off and have it off. But we'll wait and see. Martin O'Neill's polo shirt will be on eBay. The wee guy Shannon last night. Maybe bring out a Primark range for Martin. Yeah, yes, definitely. I don't think Martin O'Neill would have given him the top that he was wearing. We do so little of significance until we sell, and even then. But Celtic and Martin O'Neill confirmed that there were offers in for our players yesterday. Don't know, so. And plus, I've said this before, nothing was going to happen when Martin O'Neill was on holiday. I wouldn't have expected anything to happen when Martin O'Neill was on holiday. When he came back, when he came back to training, which would have been the Thursday, that's when I would expect Martin O'Neill to get down to business. And then here we are just over a week or so later, 7 days later, we've signed a player. So that timeline for me fits in exactly what's probably been going on in the background of Celtic. I know that fans would want players to come in before the first game of pre-season, but if Martin was on holiday that week and not answering his phone and saying, "Look, I'm not even thinking about football for a week. I want to go and just relax, switch off, talk about nothing, enjoy a little bit of peace before the season ahead." Of course, there will be offers in for our players. We don't have an idea what goes on exactly. Celtic will bring in players, and Martin knows what he needs and won't rush to bring them in. Keep the faith. I think so. I've got every faith in Martin O'Neill bringing in the type of players that we need. How was Celtic player last night? Was it better than Celtic TV? The cameras that they're using are better quality cameras. They've obviously had a bit of money spent. It was. I don't think it was on Celtic TV online. I didn't check that out, but they're still putting their content out through YouTube, but just having the Celtic player stuff. It's a very bizarre situation that Celtic have got. They tell us that they're putting all the content through the Celtic player. Is that the Celtic app as well? And then they've got Celtic player all over everything, but they're putting the content out on YouTube. I watched the interviews on YouTube, but the quality of the cameras, it's silly things that people would notice. But anyway, right. Shelbourne offered Rio and Balikwisha a 2-for-1 deal. Therefore, get rid of players that no longer want to be there, or someone who comes in with decent bids. And Tony Stewart says he agrees with that. Argentina versus Egypt was a classic. I watched, someone did one of these 4-minute videos of the game last night. Argentina got away with murder last night. If those fouls were given the other way, Argentina would have had a penalty if the foul was the other way. The World Cup for me is over. It's I will watch Spain, but as soon as Spain get knocked out, I'm not be watching it. It's yeah. It's not been a World Cup for yeah, it's in America, but who cares? That's the way a lot of clubs do it via YouTube. Yeah, but Celtic have come out and said that you have to do everything through their player. Anyway, right, that's me done and dusted for this morning. I need to go because I'm probably going to be going on a call round about now. Where's WhatsApp? And have an absolutely fantastic day, Celtic fans. Why is that page not shutting down? Have an absolutely fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are all around the world. And I'll see you later on this afternoon.